Hi, welcome back to JNP Project YouTube channel and podcast. I'm the host, Miki Miura. I'm a family nurse practitioner in the USA. In this channel, we're gonna go over everything about how to become a nurse practitioner in the USA, how to become a successful as an international student, how to build amazing nurse practitioner career so that you can have amazing work-life balance and have a wonderful lifestyle that you dreamed of. Before we're gonna get into today's topic, which is when should you move to the United States? This episode is particularly for international students. So the topic is when should you move to the United States? I want to give you a great news that the boot camp, the International Nurse to Nurse Practitioner USA boot camp, the deadline for registration extended to July 15. So previously it was the deadline was June 30th, but because of the demand, we decided to extend the deadline to July 15. So you have 2 more weeks to register for this. This program will prepare international students before entering nurse practitioner program in the United States so that you can excel, you can be well prepared to excel in nurse practitioner program. So you can have a jump start in nurse practitioner career. It's gonna be all in English. So, some people might say, ooh, all in English. My English is not too good yet. Maybe I should wait. No, don't wait, because the best way to improve your English is to actually study something that you're interested in. My English, when I moved to the United States, how many years ago? 13 years ago, my English wasn't this good. And it's not because my English is better now, not because I've been living in the United States for 13 years. I know because I work in Japanese clinics, and I know a lot of Japanese people in Hawaii who've been living here for decades and decades and way longer than me. But many Japanese people cannot speak English at all. So it's not that the time that, that living in the United States determine whether your English gets better or not. It's not going to just naturally come to you. My English got better because I wanted to understand what teachers are saying. I had to have a discussion with my classmates. So I had to learn English really quickly to learn nursing. So this is the best way to improve your English. We don't expect you to your English to be perfect at this point. This is one of the aim for this program, to improve your English through nursing. So don't worry if your English is not perfect yet. That's why this program exists, so that by the time you enter actual nurse practitioner program, you have a lot more confidence in your English, so you can excel in the nurse practitioner program. And you're gonna have lifetime access to online lessons, and then you also have a workbook. Also, we're gonna have a 6 monthly live meeting with me and the classmates, so you can ask questions, you can talk about your concerns, and also practice your English. And you're gonna have access to exclusive Facebook group page, so you can exchange information with your classmates about your wins, your struggles and stuff like that. It's gonna be so wonderful. And again, seating is limited, and final registration now will end on July 15. This is the final. It's not going to be later than that. So don't miss this opportunity. And the next cohort won't open until next year. So I hope you're not going to miss this opportunity, because this is the sign for you to actualize your dream. You have to act on to make your dream come true. It's not going to just happen to you. So you have to grab it, and this is a great opportunity. For more information, you can go to usa.janpproject.com, usa.janpproject.com for more information. Okay, so let's get into today's topic, which is this is for international students, but when is the best time to move to United States? Let's dive in. Okay, so today's topic is when should you move to United States? This episode is dedicated for international students. So if you're like me, you are born and raised outside the United States, and you dream of working either as a nurse or as a nurse practitioner someday in the United States someday. So when should you move? I asked this question to myself so many times. I thought of coming to United States. I thought of coming to United States to study since I was very little. My father graduated from graduate school in the United States, and he told me study was really fun. And I always thought of coming to United States and study since I was little. So I always wondered, when should I come here? When I was in high school, I thought of maybe I should go to the college in United States. And then when I was in a nursing college in Japan, I thought of maybe I should move to the United States right after I graduate. Then I thought of, then I end up coming here after I worked as a registered nurse in Japan for 2 years. Then I moved, and I think I made the best decision. There's so many questions about, should you move? Should you receive the initial nursing education in the United States? If you're a high school student, you might think, oh, maybe I should go to college in the United States. Or you might think that maybe I should go straight to United States right after graduate from nursing program, which I thought of it too. Or should you have some experience in your own country as a nurse and then come to United States? So what is the best? But I personally, and this is, my experience, but I've seen a lot of different cases too. And I think my opinion is it's best to attend your initial nursing education in your own country, and then have at least work as a nurse in your own country for at least a few years before you come to the United States. And I'll tell you 4 reasons why. First reason, studying a complex subject like nursing is in a foreign language is very, very hard. If you're not English native, studying anything in English is hard. But especially nursing or anything medical or, those very specialized field is very hard to learn. Even American people who are native in English, they have to actually take a class about for medical terminology, which I took also, because medical terminology it's like a foreign language to them too, so for international students, we have to learn English, and also it's almost like another language, medical English or terminology. So it's going to be harder if you're just, fresh out of high school, and then you come to the United States and attend nursing program in the United States. Then you have to overcome English to understand. So I think you probably have such a difficulty understanding than actual nursing, because you are just studying English, trying to improve your English before you really understand what's discussed in nursing. Language is not the only issue. You also need to learn healthcare system and the culture of various people living in, culture of various people living in the community, so that you can serve your people better, your patients better after you become a nurse or nurse practitioner. But if you're fresh out of high school and you move to United States to attend initial nursing program, there are so many things to learn. And first of all, you probably don't understand what's discussed in the classroom because your English is not there yet. It's gonna get better. Your English will get better over time, but I think your basic nursing knowledge and skill will be behind compared to your American students because maybe you only understand half of what's said in a classroom. Maybe it's a certain percentage of what's said in a classroom. So when you become a actual nurse, I think you have less confidence because your nursing knowledge and skill are limited because you have obstacle, which was English. Also, this is I seen this multiple case that Japanese people from Japan came to they finished high school in Japan, and then they attended universities or nursing program in the United States. They didn't have any nursing experience. They didn't have any nursing education in Japan. They're born and raised in Japan, so the English is not first language. They finished high school. They moved to United States to attend nursing program. They studied hard. They overcame English, and they were able to graduate. But when they try to find a job as a nurse, they have a hard time because they need a work visa or green card. And although it's not impossible, but you are newly graduated nurse who don't have any experience. And also you have a huge disadvantage, which is you have to find an employer who can pay for fees, including lawyer fees, to get work visa and or permanent residency. And then it's not only for the money, but also the applying for green card and work visa. It's a lot of process that the employer has to do so many paperwork, and they have to do so many things on top of money, the fee. So there you have a lot of obstacles. If you graduate high school in your own country, and then right after that you come to United States to attend a nursing program, even if you're able to graduate. Let me give you an example. In Hawaii, 88% of locally educated, so that means that those people who were born and raised in Hawaii and graduate from nursing program, only 88% of them get a job within 1 year. Well, 88%, maybe that's not too bad. It's almost close to 100%. But this doesn't mean that all registered nurses get work in acute care or hospital setting, which is very critical, especially if you are considering becoming a nurse practitioner. I made in a different episode, in the past episode, I discussed that how many years of experience you should have as a nurse before entering nurse practitioner program. And I recommend to have at least a few years of acute care nursing experience before entering a nurse practitioner program. But this 88% of locally educated, this is a locally educated new grad nurse practitioner. They get a job within 1 year, but that doesn't mean they get to work in a hospital. So in fact, only 39% of new grad nurse work in acute care setting. This is based on actual data. And then others work at long-term care, outpatient, home health, and others. Those experience, I'm not going to say it's not helpful at all. Any experience helps, for us to learn as a nurse and improve our skills. But if you're gonna become a nurse practitioner, you're gonna diagnose, you're gonna prescribe medications, you have a lot of responsibilities. I believe that you need to have acute care experience, so you know the worst case scenario. You will recognize, signs that this patient's gonna get into really sick, or these patients need acute care treatments. But only 39% of new grad nurses end up working in a hospital, and these are including American new grad nurses and international new grad nurses. There were not. There's no data about how many percent of international student who graduate from nursing program get a hospital job as a new grad. There was no data about that, but I assume that I assume the percentage is low, because the international students have a huge disadvantage, which is we have to get work visa, or they have to get work visa or green card. Only 65%, this is all in Hawaii, but only 65% of new grad nurse get hired within 6 months of graduation. And remember, if you're an international student, you only get 1 year of OPT, which is a temporal work permission to work in the United States after you graduate from bachelor or higher education. But you only get 1 year. And if you waited 6 months, you only have 6 months to work. And only 65% of people get a job within six months. So there's no guarantee. Almost half of the people waited longer than that. And you only have 1 year of period to work. So this 1 year starts right after you graduate. It's not when you get a job, then 1 year. It's that clock start ticking on the day of graduation, or around the time of graduation. To stay in the United States as an international person, you need to find an employer who are willing to help you to get a work visa or permanent residency within the 1 year of OPT. So as you wait longer to find an employer, you have shorter period to apply for green card and a work visa. Even if you worked hard and then you were able to graduate from bachelor, nursing program in the United States, but you are new grad who don't have any nursing experience, neither in Japan or in the other country or in the United States, you're new grad, no experience at all. Also, you have to find an employer who can support you to get a work visa and permanent residency. Is extremely difficult. Matter of fact, I see many people who, like I said, many people who are in this situation, and they either, had to get married to their partners, which is not a bad thing. Maybe it was meant to be, or they returned to their mother country because they couldn't find an employer who can help them to get a work visa or permanent residency, because they're new grad. They don't have any new specialist skills. So it's very sad that you spend your time, money for tuition and effort to graduate nursing program in the United States. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be easy. You have to overcome English language barrier, and then you have to learn very specialized knowledge, which is nursing. And you finally go graduate, but then you couldn't find a job, and you have to return to your mother country, although your dream is to become a nurse or nurse practitioner in the United States. Another bummer thing for this situation is, even if you return to your mother country, there's no guarantee you can work as a nurse in your own country, in your mother country right away. Like in Japan, if you graduate from nursing program in the United States, if you move back to Japan, you can't practice as a nurse right away. I don't think your bachelor, maybe you can use your bachelor degree and apply for nursing license, but I haven't heard that yet. Might be possible, maybe if you know about this, please comment down below if you're watching YouTube, but you have to pass the exam. And you probably have to start from scratch. And then especially like, so it'll be hard. But if you go through the same pathway for me, it was a difficult situation. I wanted to come to the United States as soon as possible. When I was in high school, I wanted to come here for undergrad because I wanted to move to the United States as soon as possible. When I was in a nursing program in Japan, it's like so emotional. But when I was a nursing student in Japan, I wanted to come to the United States right after graduate. But I really thought about it. I thought about the long term. And I thought, one, I need to save money to attend a nurse practitioner program because the tuition is high. And so, I thought maybe I should, really, I don't want, not that I don't want to, but, I wanted to move to the United States as soon as possible. But I thought maybe I should save money. I work as a nurse in Japan for a few years, save money, and then I come to the United States, which I did. But I'm so glad that I made that decision because not only did I save money, but I also built my basic nursing skills and knowledge in Japanese, that in the language that I completely understand. I don't have any language barrier. Also because, I'm Japanese citizen, there is no issue of work visa and permanent residency. So I find a job without any difficulty and find a hospital. I worked at a university hospital. So I find acute care job without any difficulty at all. And when I came to the United States when I was 25 to become a nurse practitioner, it was much easier for me to find a job because I'm experienced as a nurse. Although my experience was in other country, but then I do have experience as a nurse. Nursing is kind of universal. There are some difference, but employer will choose experienced nurse who have experience only outside the United States over new grad nurse who had zero experience of nursing anywhere. So I had an advantage. I had experience in acute care setting and not like long-term care, home care and stuff like that, but acute care. That's another advantage for as a nurse practitioner student. So that was really the best decision. And on top of that, this wasn't something that I planned, but now because I have a license both in Japan and United States to work as a nurse, I have, and I also had certificate and as a nurse practitioner, license as an APRN in the United States. I received education in Japan and the United States. I worked in both countries as a nursing professional. I get to get invited to give a lecture at universities in Japan. My trips are paid by universities, so pretty much I can travel internationally for free. I get to help people in both countries, and it's pretty amazing. And this is something that this is really, really wonderful. I didn't initially thought that this is going to happen to me, but I get to see my family and give lecture to Japanese nurses, nursing student in Japan. I get to help people who are in the same situation that I had before, and I get to help them to change their life. So when I was in nursing program in Japan, it was really hard. And even when I was working as a new grad nurse in Japan, I couldn't wait. I was counting the days. Okay, 2 more years. Okay, 1 more year before I move to the United States. Because I've been dreaming of coming to the United States since I was little. But I'm glad I was patient because I was thinking of long term. That my goal wasn't just to come to the United States. My goal wasn't just to graduate from nursing program. My goal wasn't just to stay here for a short period of time. My goal was to establish a solid nurse practitioner career in the United States, and then I can live here forever if I want to. And so you should really think about long term. If you want to live in the United States and have a nursing career in the United States for a long, long time, you should think about these things that I discussed about. Not just a short term, especially if you're young, like if you're in high school or, bachelor degree, or if you're in a, teenager or in early 20s and stuff like that. It seems like forever to wait for a few years, 5 years, but it's completely worth it. And I'm the living proof. So that's something you should think about for long term, because I want you to be successful. I don't want you to go back to your own country right after you graduate and all the efforts, time, money for your tuition is, flush in the toilet bowl. I don't want that to happen to you. So let's think about the long term. So those are the things that you should think about. Personally, I would recommend to have initial nursing education in your own country, have experience in acute care setting for a few years in your own country, and move to United States when you're ready. Doesn't have to be like a few years of experience. It could be 5 years, but at least a few years of acute care setting experience as a nurse before you move to the United States would be, I think, will set you for success. I hope this episode was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please comment in comment section below if you're watching YouTube. And also, if you can leave reviews, if you listen to podcasts, I will really appreciate it. I hope all the best to you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Aloha.